Everybody, and today I am going to talk about maps. Again, we're going to do some maps. What I need to do though is I need to catch and make sure that I got sound going through my channel. Videos. Do I snort? Yes, I do. Videos. Here it is. Is there anything live? I don't see it. It says live. Can I click it? And then can I click it? It says live. I don't see it. It says live. There we go. It's live. Perfect. Well, I'm going to keep this open and I'm going to get it over on the side so I can see my stream. Okay, I can't see it that way, can I? So we'll see if there's any comments here later. Please leave your comments. Okay, let's get into it. I'm looking at maps, and here's a view of the eye of the Sahara, which is at almost 3,000 feet above sea level. It's actually white. Now, is it snow-capped? No. But it's the highest point in the map. There's other white spots that also end up to be about 3,000 feet. But what we talked about in what Plato wrote is that the eye of the Sahara could represent the mountains to the north. And then what you get is a southern plain. Now, when you look at this inch down here, it's about an inch. And you measure that straight down, that's almost 2 inches right there. And that's like 400 kilometers. That's about the measurement that what Plato gave. And then, of course, if you go out this way, you've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. That's more than the 600 kilometers. And when you go into these areas here, you see lots of different canal residuals down here too. See how it got all high over here? So you have some high mountains here as well. And there are signs of canals going through there. Before I back out and show you these canals, let me show you some nice mounds, circles. I don't know if you want to call them burial mounds, but I would call them tumuli. Those dots are in the middle of the entrance area. You can come in here. You can see these burial mounds here and here are there. Maybe they're not burial mounds, but why would they put them right there? Somebody told me that there is a circle. I went over here and looked at the circle. It's right there. It's not really a circle for me. It's more of an ellipse if I have to follow the land. The bedrock sticking through the sand. But look at all these mounds. I think a lot of people decided to bury their dead there or create altruistic types of structures. And when I say altruistic, I mean like an altar. Now there's a lot of stuff around here that people have been looking at and commenting on, different structures that stick through. I think when you see a jagged line like this, it's been pushed one way but not the other. So you can see here is a good example of how parts of things have been pushed and moved, whereas other parts have remained in a more stationary place. This is the eye of the Sahara. As you know, I believe this circle was a strike. Now we have a lot of new things popping up here. That says the eye of Africa. Dare I click it? No. And this is the eye of Africa. It's the same words, but they're different spots. National Park in Mauritania. National Park in Mauritania. No, I don't want to add it to my project. The richat structure. There is another one. So a lot of stuff has been popping up. People have been adding things. I think this is the middle, basically. You can get... This is not exactly the middle. The middle, from my understanding, is a little bit over here. You can see the group of buildings right there that's pretty close to the middle. But these mountains, I think, are the middle here, and they're a little higher. And, of course, there could have been what Plato wrote. It's amazing to think that this was the concentric circles that Plato wrote about. But there's so many residual things around here. When I went back, people, this is back in time, right? This is January 19th, 2019. This video is May 2019, 22. This is May 20. I can put that here. This one is April 26, 2020. That's recent. It was an ancient map showing lakes in the Sahara. And here's ancient maps showing Atlantis, May 18th, 2019. Back here, I'll put it there. This one is April 26, 2020. And I thought I had one more. It doesn't really matter. Let's see who's watching. Where is it? Oh, it's a separate window. Here we go. Nobody's watching. I'll give myself a thumbs up. Boom. Booyah. Okay, so it's added to liked videos. Should I comment? Maybe I can comment. Maybe I can comment. Where are the comments? Here? I don't think this is the place to be commenting, but I want to give it a shot because of the YouTube algorithm, right? I don't want to turn on my webcam because I feel that you won't like what you see. I'm just trying to find my keyboard. I'm in the dark. All right, here we go. So, thanks for watching. Okay, let's give it that exclamation point and go for it. Give it that comment. This is like going to be a big long video. It's 9 p.m. in Taipei right now. I'm not getting any chats, so can I make it pop out? Booyah. Pop out the chats. There you go. Now I can probably delete this. Can I delete that? Good. There we go. Pop out the chats. All right. I do have this topographical map, and you can see that this whole plane is pretty much the same. It's a pink-white. It's not a pink-orange, so it's over here about 17,000 feet, or 1999. Now, we do have the number lower now. 2595 feet is the white. But if you put it right in the middle, you get closer, it's going to turn into a different number. No? Well, it changes a little bit. And as you know, this topographical map isn't really good for showing ancient canals. We can go to Google Earth and we can find plenty of ancient canals. I guess this is one. I feel like it was coming around the mountain and adding water to the front. I think that there were canals going through the mountains. I think you can find residual evidence of that here, especially when you see what looks like a long man-made canal on top of the mountain. And nowadays, I've been kind of looking towards the south down here. Whatever this was, maybe it was an ancient bay full of ocean water. If you look at if you look at the topographical, you can see this whole area was only, well, let's take a look at realistically, yellow, 433 feet, orangish, 541 feet. We're not really sure what we're looking at here. And I've been looking along this high cliff area. So I feel like that cliff area was very similar to the north side of the richat structure. I've been checking it out. And here we are there. That area starts here. When you zoom in, you automatically see a lot of straight lines. What's that, like a square in the middle of it? Yeah, it gets kind of natural. It's kind of hard. I mean, that one's literally, that's a state. What does that say? Tangent region, Asaba region. I'm not sure if we're still in Mauritania. I think we are. But if you zoom over here, you see a lot of stuff that really sticks out. I saw a sword, right? There's a sword over here. Where's the sword? I haven't been here in a while. That's what I call the sword right there. Look at that. You've got your natural rivers going through there and here, but then you've got this straight line cutting right through. It looks like a sword. And you can follow it. It still goes straight, but this is the most prominent part. Why would it just be going that direction? And by the way, is it not parallel with those other lines? If we sit here and mess with this, and we put it straight up and down, like that, can we not find other canals going in the same direction? And up here at the richat structure, we still have canals Well, they're not really in the same direction. That's different. That's different. Those are parallel, but to each other. And there's one that I think is kind of straight up and down, and it's right there. Well, it's not a very strong argument. That one is kind of going almost in the same direction. Who's to say that these so-called canals... I mean, this one right here, I believe that this thing was long hit with sand and rocks and flooding. And it totally cleansed the land. Pre-Andaluvian. What's that? That would be a mining. They're using bulldozers to grab mineral-rich sediments in the top of the mountain. What's this? We don't know. What's this? You know, that I don't know. Is that a... Why is it going in that direction? Anything going up and down right now is going to be parallel. Did they have the concept of north and south? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, the whole structure looks like it's going in the same direction right there. Whoops, I bumped the keyboard. Now I got to go check and make sure I'm still... Anybody there? I'm going to have to comment here. Let me go through some of these maps really quick right after I comment. I don't have anybody live. Oh, there you are. Dirk Jensen! Thank you for coming. Dirk, I missed some of your messages. It's really hard to go back to the chat. The live chat is different from the non-live chat. Thank you for the ancient topic video comment. Stick with me. Ask some questions. These are some of my old videos. This one is called Ancient Maps Showing Atlantis. This one got 47,000 views, 374 comments. For a while, this video was making me $40 a day. I thought I was rich. And we can go through this. I fast-forwarded because there's a lot of BS I talked about in the beginning. But you can always go back and check it. And I talked about... This is old. This is old stuff. But some of the stuff I found... here in this ancient maps was amazing. Now, one of the things that I tried to focus on early on was the shoreline and what we could identify from these ancient maps. Now we know that this whole area, I can't zoom in, I'm sorry, between Capo Blanco, which is right there, and Capo Miric, which is right here, or Cape Miric, Cape Blanco, that was the river outlet. Now, I always had wondered whether or not it was above or below Cape Miric. I used to believe it came out below because of the swampish area right there. And we can see other areas. Now, you can see in many maps, Dakar, that is actually what's going out towards the Cape Verde Islands. This was actually called Cape Verde for a long time, but they changed it to Dakar. The islands are still Cape Verde Islands, so Dakar is Cape Verde. It's a little point. You can see it right there. You can see here in this close-up on the middle right, Capo Blanco and Capo Miric. And you see the mud banks. The ones that Plato probably wrote about are still there after all these years. This is an ancient shoreline. If you go to the Google Earth and you can see the river outlet coming through here, but you can also see something happening down here in the area below Cape Miric before Cape Verde. So Nouakchott is the capital. I think there was a river coming out right there too. I think there were several rivers. So when you look at these things, you kind of have to start right here at this hook. It says here, La Guerra, but I believe that, and here's another word, Naughty Boy. Naughty Boy, yeah, Naughty Boy. Naughty Boy was Cape Blanco's hook, and that actually is the same height as the richat structure. Now, I went backwards here, and this is like 1800s. This is not a map I agree with, so I'm going to go backwards now. I'm going to go to the last map. The map that put it all there in here. Oops, I went too far. There it is. Now this map, whoops, it went not far enough. I don't want to start an ad. There, see, we're not getting a good shot of this map. Is that going to work? Now, one of the things that's funny about this map is it shows that the Spain, Iberian Peninsula, and the north part of Africa are still connected in making the Mediterranean Sea a lake. And you can see the Atlas Mountains here, and you can see some type of a river that flows. It says Nilus ex Atlante profluens, which means Nile out of Atlantis flowing. Nile flowing out of Atlantis. Atlantic River, Atlantic Mountains, Atlas, Atlante. So this is the World Map 1505 by Andrew Farre. Even in 1500s, they were calling the River Nile from the Atlante area. Not Atlas Mountains, it's right there. Atlas, but Atlante profluens. So you've got yourselves some questions. This map is from 1505, but we can go back farther. This map here is based on Herodotus. It's actually not something that he drew. You have to understand that these maps were inspired by, or they were according to what Herodotus wrote. Now, they're all quite different, and some of them have different stuff, but this one shows Atlantis and Atarantis. Now, Atarantis, in my opinion, wasn't that the brother of Atlantis? Why would it be south if the eye is here? Well, there are a lot of questions that can be answered. Of course, Bright Insight pointed out this map. It doesn't show anything except the word Atlantis, and there's a question mark next to it. You can also see the Nile flowing across from west to east. You can see this word Garamantes, but that's a tribe that existed, and it actually went quite far south from what I've seen. Now, I'm going to go to some more maps that you might not have seen, because a lot of people may have zoomed in. Now, if you didn't know, this is showing Spain, and it's showing a major mountain going across. So I don't really care about this, but I'll show you the close-ups. One of the things is you can kind of see some cities in there. You can kind of see some rivers as well flowing from the Atlas Mountains south. Is that a river? I don't think so. That's a mountain range. I forgot who did this map, but it is a 450 AD. Now, I'm going to have to find the maps. This one right here, though, as you can see, it shows rivers flowing east to west. You can see the Nile. You can see it going straight south and splitting up. But one area here, and there is a major lake there in the past, was supposed to be the splitting point where the east-west Nile went into the north-south Nile. And if you look, what you see is over here on the left, probably the Dakar point. The Dakar Capo Verde, or Cape Verde point, which is where you can go straight up. This is a really weak map because it almost shows like a rectangle. Not really the real shape of Africa. But as you can see, you do have this Libya interior, and part of that could be the Senegal River, but Senegal would start below Point Dakar. There was one outlet just north of Dakar. We'll see it in some other maps. These maps, here we go. It's not showing the names, so I'm sorry. I thought I would have the names available. This shows the whole map. And I don't know the name of this map. You'll have to go into my videos to catch that. I might find out later, and I'll put them in like the description, but at this point I could barely care. Now here we have what you see is a mountain range going across the Sahara. It seems like it's almost hitting Egypt. Egypt has its Nile, but you can also see this other area forcing water towards the east, north of this Ethiopia probably mountain range. So this is kind of a weird one, and it doesn't show the name. I'm sorry, I really expected to be able to name these maps off and what year. What I can tell you is this map comes from Ancient maps. Well, it doesn't show the names. Maybe I can play it for you. But I'd rather not. I'd rather just let you know that this is like 400, 500, 600 BC. Here we can see some Garamontes areas with lakes all over towards Egypt. But over here, you kind of can't see. This must be just north, I would assume. And you can check the lines of latitude. So there is some precision here. You can see the Atlas Mountains going across. I think that the reason why I was attracted to this was from the Atlas Mountains. But when you get to Niger River and Dourados River, I kind of feel like that Dourados River is that one that's I'm talking about, and that this is the Cape Verde Point. And you're not really seeing... so this map isn't very good in my opinion. But we have plenty more where that came from. Now, this one's a close-up. I can zoom out a little bit, but you can see these Garamontes. Now, who was Ptolemy? Ptolemy was, his geography was 150. Was that BC or C? I thought it was C. He's got a bunch of maps that I base my stuff on. So that might be a place that... Well, yeah, the rectangular map was always what I call the Ptolemy map. And here you can see Orbis Ptolemy, the world according to Ptolemy. Now over here you can see the Cape Verde Islands, but you can't see the Canary Islands. So that's a tough one. Not sure what to think about that. Ptolemy, I haven't studied it very much. I've read a little bit about what he wrote. This is an interesting one. It's very raw. It's like 200 BC. I could be wrong. Let me see if I can find the number. That's 1300. If I could find another number, I could say these ancient maps were more like almost 0 BC. I mean, before Christ, right? And here, if you follow down, you can see a group of islands, and that could have been the Canary or the Cape Verde Islands. They're kind of laid out in a row. They're not really in a formation that looks recognizable. But what you do see is this river going across that doesn't start from the coast. It starts from the interior, from a big lake. And I see these mountains here. Well, Atlas Mountains, it must be them. And it shows a lot of other stuff in here. There's another lake over here, but Africa's quite distorted, so not really good as far as ancient maps go. We're kind of done, and we're going to go like 500 years old. We start with 1300 years. Now, this is easy. I got this map. Whoops, it didn't click on the name. Now I want to hit this one. What's this one? This one shows, and I'm not getting the name again, a river going from about the Senegal. So I would consider this the Senegal River complex. But one thing you do see is rivers going up towards the Atlas Mountains. Now, I have to say that if that, especially this, is the Eye of Africa, well, then you kind of have no rivers on this map. But you do have rivers coming here and here, and you kind of wonder where this mountain range is. We go backwards, and we can see it again, what I would call the Senegal River complex. But you got a couple of rivers up here. You've got what seems like the Atlas Mountains here, but then other mountains down here, and a river going towards the ocean. But with the islands going across like that in a row, I think we're back at the early Ptolemy maps. What happened to 1300? Let's go to this one. I want this one. Big head. Okay, this one's a little mixed up. I'm just trying to find that. So here we have the Al-Idiric World Map 1154. Now this is a big mix-up, but if you don't know it already, it's upside down. And if you want to let it get bigger... This map shows... Yeah, see, here you can see the Nile River going up to what looks like a mountain, and 3 rivers on the east and 3 rivers on the southwest flowing into some type of maybe a lake or maybe a mountain. It shows a circle. I think that's the lake, and then it shows the mountain. That's the thing to the left. You have also a river going all the way across. I would call that the Senegal River. I just looked at this. But if you look at the whole thing, it's quite interesting. I showed you the date at least and the name. Now, I call these the sperm maps because you can see these sperm shapes. And what you see here is a bunch of rivers exiting out the north side of Africa. And then going down the coast, you have these islands, what I think were Plato's Diver Islands. I believe that the continent itself was Atlantis. And the Diver Islands, and this map was from 1300. It's Hereford's World Map. Christian Faith Hereford World Map. This map is really distorted. People love to make round circles. But if you look at this, you can find... Oh, I forgot already. Yeah, right down there at the bottom. That's Spain. At the bottom, that's the Pillars of Hercules at the bottom. This is Africa on the bottom right. I'm going to check and see if there's any comments at all. Please leave your comments. Oh, here we go. Theodore B. Yeah, Dirk, you think the Azores is Atlantis? But I have to be honest. I'm not saying that it's not part of the Atlantis complex, but I believe it's what Plato called the Diver Islands. The concentric circles aren't anywhere in Azores. Yeah, we're looking at the grand solar minimum when it comes to heading into another ice age. But I don't want to care. Yeah, of course, will it raise the... we're talking about raising sea levels right now. So thank you, Theodore B. Thank you, Dirk Jensen, for your chats. Let me go back over and check it out. Where was I? Here? No. Here? Where was I? Here? No. I got lost. There it is. Mappa Mundi by Hereford. This is all messed up. But you can still see this one... Okay, so stick with me. You can see Egypt, and you can see the Nile there. And you can see this one major river going through and ending up on the lake without any access. So through the Sahara in 1300. Through the Sahara. Let me make this a little bigger. Now, we go back to that one map that I wanted to talk about, but this is more in order. It's 1500, right? You can see that there's even some type of a southern structure, but that would be Antarctica. Africa's cut off. India, there's some stuff going on here. That would be Sumeria right there, wouldn't it? And that would be the Arabian Peninsula. But when you look over here at the two weird things, the connected land masses, why doesn't he have that open? Was that at a point of time when the sea levels was low enough and it was connected? Well, this is 1500. So if it's true, he must have gotten his information from some ancient map. Here's the name of this map. Again, it's 1505. Andrew Farre, the world map. There's a lot of different maps in this story. This is a map that was more based on Arabic, and even I think I've got one that's based on Chinese. Some of these maps. This is the Fraumauro Map. And you can see here the part that's important is turned over. I think there's more to it than that. I have to find the part where it shows. See, I kind of got mixed up here, so I'm just going to keep moving on. The Fraumauro Map has some interesting stuff. There you go. So, as you can see, according to this map, you've got some, not really rivers coming out, but that's Spain. It's upside down, right? I'm going to move on. This is also the 1459 Fraumauro Map. You can see here that he doesn't really have a lot of rivers going across the Sahara in 1459. What's this map? Okay, this is a long time ago in the day, but what you see here in this map, and this is like 1400s, it shows like a lot of rivers coming out right there. And I don't know what that is. I wrote that a long time ago. That's like 2 years old. This whole map was actually the map that was right after Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I think it's actually the map that Columbus was basing on. Not this one. But this one right here. This is the Columbus map. The one he used. These are, different parts of it. This is called the... well, where's the date? This is the map that Columbus based his. Okay, this is after Columbus because it shows North and South America over there on the left. But I was more interested in this. It didn't really turn much up, in my opinion. I zoomed in on it, and you can see what looks like rivers going across. Is that the Senegal complex? Maybe. It's a little messed up. This is the Japanese map. And it's kind of hard to tell, but what you see are rivers going across the Sahara Desert. And these rivers could be focused. And if you look, I think that might be the Tropic of Cancer. I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure. I have to. Let's go to this next one here. This is a different map. Now, these maps had some drawings on them, and I think that each castle represented like a mini kingdom. And here you can clearly see the Senegal entry right below the Cape Verde. And then if you go up, you can see like the Cape Myrick, and you can see the Cape Blanco. And you see a kingdom there. But it didn't get into a couple years later until you saw more words that were related to the existing cities today. This one shows it's kind of far away. I don't think that that's the same map, is it? And this one's always been very interesting. Now it says here Hoden, Hoden. Now I believe that that's the same name that we have today. What city do we have now? We can zoom in and find out for ourselves. Huadane. It's right there. I call it Huadane. 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 I used to think that was a Q, so I ignored it. But then I realized that was an O. So if we look here and we see Hoden, I believe it's the same city. Hoden. And look, you can see Cape Verde there. What looks like Cape Myrick. And above it, which is where the river was to have come out, Hodeni. And it comes out over here. You don't really see where is Hodeni. You don't really see where it is. But look at north of Huadane. You can see the Niger Lakes and River Complex. Where is it now? I don't know. Maybe that's part of the ancient river coming through there. I mean, I think that if you connect the dots, you can see the one river went to Hodeni. The Nigeria River here came from the area where there was actually, I can show you what I think this dot might be. Here, let me show you right now. If you go here and you go into here, could that not be the same lake? Was it an ancient lake? Now, I kind of wonder about this because topographically, I've never really had any inspiration coming. We gotta wait. But you can see right here that that's actually higher. So that's probably not the lake. But according to these maps that I've been getting, the river ran up and over that and then back down and missed the ancient Tamanrasset River, missed our Eye of Africa. So that would mean that there would be other man-made canals or rivers that supplied that with water. Or it was just natural with rivers. There must have been, remember, this is pre-desert, so there was probably lots of rivers. I've already talked about all this, but getting my thoughts organized are kind of difficult. Let's go back to more comments. Yeah, Theodore B., we really don't know, do we? We can't prove it unless we really put some effort into going straight in there and proving it. But with all the different geopolitical war, all that, we're not really going to get anywhere fast, are we? That's why Google Maps is something we can depend on. A lot of people have commented saying, why does everybody depend on the maps? But you know what? This is because it's the evidence we have access to. I can't go to Mauritania. Now we've got COVID. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right where I'm at. So here I am looking at the maps. Paul from Thailand. I am feeling frustrated, so I've resorted to channeling poetry of Atlantis. The thoughts of the lovers of Atlantis in poetry. Yeah, it's tough for me to channel anything. But when you look at this, you can see a natural river flowing this way. You can see a bunch of ancient lake beds here. That would be the ancient Maghreb lake area. There might be some more up here, lake beds. And then you've got a river that flowed and it came down here. I kind of came across here maybe. Maybe that's it. You know, it doesn't look like a river. But according to the stuff I've seen, maybe that's it right there. But then it comes and it goes over this. And it's like, what? Where's the river? I don't see a river. Is that the river right there? So when you see this evidence and it goes over that mountain, it goes around this side of this little mountain, or maybe here, actually. And then it goes back down towards, and it did still come out right here. And you can see exactly where it came out nowadays. You can see it when you zoom out here. You can see residual lines right there. That right there is where it came out. Not that. And you can see here you've got Senegal rivers, ancient rivers here that came out here. That is a river came out right there. But it shows the rivers here. So it's a bit confusing. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, why does that have a line like a river? And down here we have a few more. So when we're looking at these river outlets, we need to remember there used to be quite a few around here. Now with the sediment buildup, I mean, look at that sea cliff. It goes out quite far. But I do believe that this line, this edge, is so ancient because you can see it here. You can even see Capo Blanco starting right there. You even see Senegal starting right there. And you can see this whole edge of Mauritania being pulled away from the mid-Atlantic ridge like a slice of pizza, leaving a trail of crumbs. Some people say that Cape Verde was created from the floods. I don't have any comment. I look at it and say, well, it's pretty high. There's volcanoes. I would say that it could have been created by anything. And over here, the Azores, I just don't think there's enough room. And you see too many ancient striations for it to have been covered up by a southern plain. Now, don't forget, you do have this. This is an interesting thing. You can see these lines. And it seems like, because I just got a new picture. I'll find it right now. I think it's in here. Is it here? I'll put it in here. That's it. When you look at this picture, you see some weird rectangular things over there. Let's zoom in on this. This is a new map of, obviously, this is, where are we? That's the Cape Verde Islands. And there's the Canary Islands. And then up here, where I was just looking, you have, can I get closer? Zoom in. You have this weird rectangular structure here. Something's going on there. But it's so deep. I mean, would that have been above sea level even 30,000, 20,000 years ago? I don't know how they're doing this. Apparently this was made from sonar. I got this off Reddit. It's almost like a reptilian structure, especially over there. That looks interesting, like a village. But at the same time, these lines are much, much older than Atlantis would have been. There got to be millions of years compared to the 20,000 years that you get from Atlantis. Castles in the richat structure, I believe, are... Oh, you say castles. I think that we have two foundations and one very old foundation that were probably French forts. Southeast of Spain for metal resources. Well, apparently this whole area is full of gold. Yeah, it's supposed to be a continent, Dirk. And if you talk about the ancient river going through here, I mean, think about how people would consider continents to be separated by rivers. Or maybe it was such a large area, it went on for 100 miles, and they said, wow, that's a continent. I'm definitely interested in Minoans and all these ancient civilizations. Let me get away from this picture. I want to move back over to my maps, which I had prepared for this. Oh, did I close the chat? Oh, I closed the chat. Dang it. Let me open that chat back up. I wanted to get the chat. Did I close that? Yeah, I did. So here we are, Prehistory Podcast Desktop 3 watching. Thank you for that. Thanks for your thumbs up. Yes. Except I gave myself a thumbs up. Megalithic Atlantis. Well, that's a big problem, isn't it? That's a big problem. Megalithic Atlantis is a... yeah, regarding that, maybe, Dirk Jensen, there's a picture that I've got. I think it's right here from this video. And that video was Chris Tolworthy's video. And, you know, they said Beyond the Pillars of Hercules. But when you get here, you had a river going through here. So they would go forward and they would find a separate divided river. Add in 6 seconds. Oh, that's a different video. That's my other video. Let's go back to this one. I got a few more maps I want to show you. This is like the same map, but a little more colorful. And it shows Caput Albu. No, I don't know. This is Caput Verde. That's Cape Verde. That's the lower one. Albu, I don't know. But you have the Canary Islands up there. So, again, you see Hodeni, which I think is Ouadane. And is it south of this river? Yes, I think so. I think the river was going... I don't know, man. Maybe this is the same river that used to be the Taman Reset. But look at how big these other rivers. That's the Senegal. So this is the middle one, and I think that kind of connected here with the Senegal. You kind of can see it connecting. And then down here it says Senegal. So... I think that they've got the entrance on the wrong side. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess it's just on the north. I have to look. Where is it? Let's look at it one more time. Yeah, see? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so the Senegal River starts on the north side of the Dakar. There is a little bit of a river here, but then there's one on the south. So you've got one on the north, one on the south. So when we go here, we can see one on the north and then one kind of north also. Maybe there... See... That's the thing. When you see these lines here, maybe there was an ancient river that used to come out right here. Because you can see a strong residual line coming from the land, and it goes way out to here. That it means there was a river. And same with over here. That means there was a river. So there may have been some major stuff going on here that all changed. We really don't know, do we? Like you said, sorry. Like you said, maybe you already split, Theodore B. We really don't know. Kilimanjaro, that's the other side. Santorini, underwater mud flow. Well, yeah, I mean, you say underwater mud flow, but I think it's proven when you look at these. Oh, by the way, this is the 1554 Munster Sebastian map. And why is it 54 if he died in 52? Good question. Good question. That's a very good question. Let's go back here. I talked about that quite a bit because I really love that map. And when I see maps like this one, I think, wow, it's you've got yourself a river going straight up. And there's definitely Hoden is right there. That's Ouadane. And you can see the river doesn't reach it. You can see the Tropic of Cancer. And so this line here is like 20. Tropic of Cancer is 23.5. And I think this line here is 21. You can see Capo Blanco written right there. So you can see Capo Blanco follows straight over just like in real life, right? If you go to Capo Blanco, you can almost follow it just south of the border of Western Sahara, so-called country. And you go straight over and it's right there, Ouadane. So it is really, that map does show the same connection. I would have to turn on my map style and get to my... Where are we? Grid lines. Yeah, let's do that. Grid lines. So, now that I've put my grid lines in, you can see that this is... Where are we? 21. 21 degrees north of the equator. 21 degrees north of the equator. And let's not forget, if you were thinking that Equatorial Guinea was anywhere close to the equator, you're wrong. Equatorial Guinea never touches the equator. It's north of the equator. Look at this crap. Who do they think they're kidding? I don't even know what's going on here anymore. Equatorial Guinea is north of the equator. It's not even close. So if you want to go to the equator, you're going to have to go to Gabon. All right, so we go back over here and we can come up. I'm not really going to look at these much, but it's nice to reference. There's the Tropic of Cancer. That's 23.5. You can see that it starts to stretch out a little bit. If you get right on top of it, it'll be equal, right? Maybe not. And here's another word that you might look out, Taudeni. I don't know if that's on any of the maps. Let's look at this some more. Hoden. Nothing over here. It's the big old vast Dareen. I don't know that city. Okay, so this is Timbuktu. Tombouctou. Tombouctou is Timbuktu. So you got yourself some changes here. You got two rivers coming below Cape Verde. Let's go on to a different map. This map is like 1500. Now, I did find a bunch of new maps in my other video. This map is the 1584 Aurelius Abraham map. 1584. And what you see is there's the Tropic of Cancer. And there's a 21. You see Hoden down below here. But up here you see these, I call them the Sperm Lakes. They look like sperms, and they're coming from Atlas Mountains, and there's a bunch of lakes. 1584. Look at all these rivers going down. This is the Cape, not Verde. This is the Canary Islands, and you can see so many rivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's all north of Cape Blanco, which is right here, the 21-degree line. All those different rivers going in towards the mountains, and then inside the mountains, documented lakes and rivers just only 500 years ago. So, is it possible these lakes were so close to and even south of the Tropic of Cancer line? Maybe the cartographer was making stuff up. All right, so this video, if you go back to January 19th, 2019, you can see a lot of stuff. This is another map, Aurelius Abraham. Is that the same one? That's the same one. I would wish we could get... See, I didn't do a good job there. I think I got it here. Hoden is right there, and the river goes right up to it. So what you're seeing is river beds. Maybe there's no river. Maybe there's a trickle coming out. But your major riverbeds exist. And that one, if you see, it goes up and over to Hoden. It doesn't go up and north of Hoden. There's this other river up here that does that. So it's kind of questionable exactly where the rivers were coming out. Okay, I messed up. This is another one. You can see Hoden. You can see Capo Blanco. You can see Cape Verde, and that's the Senegal River complex right down there. You can see Timbuktu, and it seems like Timbuktu is farther west than Hoden, but let's be honest, I think we know the truth. It shows another Timbuktu County or whatever over here on the right. So the city of Timbuktu, well, if you go there, I will be proud of you because it's in the middle of nowhere. All right, this is the swordfish that's sticking over here. So you probably saw this map full size. I'm not gonna, here's this map full size, and you can see the layout. Cape Verde Islands down below the swordfish, and the Canary Islands up above the Tropic of Cancer. I should probably make this bigger like this so you can see it. And you've got this one river going in under Cape Blanco. I'm not going to go much farther. I mean, you've got some weird animals in this one. But again, the green part is the so-called Cape Verde. Maybe it's an island at this point because you've got rivers going to the north and going to the south. Maybe that's a separate continent still. Maybe they could consider that. But what you have up by Hoden and you see here you've got Hoden large, like it's a county or a state, and then you've got Hoden small with a little tiny symbol that looks like the same symbol for these other kingdoms or kings or cities. Obviously, that's smaller. You got a lot of different words you might recognize. And there's clearly the Tropic of Cancer and the 21 degree line right there. You can see Cap Blanco right there. You cannot see Verde. You cannot see where it comes out. You cannot see Capo. Sorry, you can see Verde, but you cannot see the what is it called? Myrick. This is a 1644 map, so this is getting closer to our current situation. And a bunch of maps I don't like are coming up. So this is probably where I'll move on to my other video. I mean, this is interesting about how they, in 1710, Herman Moll, 1732, died. He made this map where you can see the Tropic of Cancer quite clearly, but then it's kind of separated between this red area, which is probably colonization. But what's interesting is below that, you can definitely see the Senegal River here. You can see that what I'm going to call the Tamanrasset residual river here. And over here, Timbuktu, Tombout, and the city of Timbuktu here. So this is now Mali. You can see salt mines, Kassala salt mines. So there's still a lot of stuff being mined from this area. Gold. All sorts of stuff, right? Do I want to find anything else? Anything else interesting? This one, it's kind of weird. I'll show it. It's kind of blurry. You can see what I think is Cape Blanco, the mud flats here, and then you got this river going in. Hoden is down here, so maybe this river is a little too far north. Maybe that's the northern stuff. Let's go out a little bit. You can see it here. Cape Verde, Cape Blanco, Hoden is right down here. I saw it just now. So it's a little more confusing, right? And this is actually a 1737 map. So do we even really want to believe maps from 1737? If you look at this video, I went on for a long time talking about maps. It's 36 minutes long. It's called Ancient Maps Showing Atlantis. I'm going to close it. I'm going to go to the next video. Revisited. I got some maps. Let's see if I can get in here and find the maps. Of course, and this one is the ancient Tamanrasset River. So if we go in here, you can see the river going right there between Blanco and Myrick, going up over that weird mountain that's north. If you go straight out, the Eye of the Sahara is like right here. So there's this big area between the Tamanrasset and the Senegal River. And I believe you can find up-down canals. Where are we here? Is this a picture? It kind of starts. Oh, there it is. I see it now. There's more maps. You know, there's a lot more maps I discovered. Of course, I'm probably going to get an ad right now. Yay! Ad time! Shut up. I got to do it. I got to do it. I get Chinese ads. I don't get English ads. Okay, so when you see this, you know this is very similar to the Columbus sailing the ocean blue map. It's after Columbus went across. Do we really believe Columbus thought they were Indians from India? It's a very interesting concept. And if you look at this map closely, you can kind of see up close. Let's get up close. We're not seeing the map up close. We're going to this other map, which I already showed you, so I don't want to show you that one again. And there's some maps up ahead here that I don't know. This one we haven't. This is Ptolemy. This is Ptolemy. I showed you this already. And this is showing Atlas Mountains, a few rivers, but it's pretty much cut off. It's quite raw, and that's the reason why is because it's like from 250 years AD or BC or something like that. Got these mud flaps. No, sorry, wrong thing. Let's see if I can find relevant maps to show you. What are we looking at here? This is a very interesting map, and you can see over on the right Cape Dakar or Cape Verde, and up above you can see Cape Myrick, and above is Cape Blanco, the hook, and you can see a mud bank blocking the river's entrance. That mud bank is still there today, right? Where's it going? What mountain is that? Now, the Senegal River complex is down here with the elephant standing on it. This is supposed to be a very special map. Where's the big version of it? Right here? Let's go right there. Again, you can see this showing the so-called Taman Reset, or see here it's a little closer to Myrick. Now, according to what we see in the Taman Reset, it comes out here, north of the mud. But down here, you see no north river. You see a southern river. It goes into a mountain. You can't see a city name like Hodeni or anything. I'm just looking for the next map. Now, I got a bunch of tablet maps. Tablet. This is Ptolemy right here. Still related to Ptolemy, but what you can see is Atlas Mountains, then no rivers, and then a couple of rivers in the middle of nowhere, and then the Senegal too that pop up down below. Kind of questionable to me. This is the Columbus map. It's after Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I showed you this before. I'm not going to do it again. I showed you this one. I love this map so much, right? Especially when it says Nile flowing from Atlantia. See if we can get to another version here. This is an interesting one. Let's see up close. Oh, this is the one of the so-called Antarctica. I don't want to get into that right now, but there is a map out there that shows Antarctica, but it shows a big thing going through. Here's a modern-day map of Africa. Even though it's modern day, it doesn't really show a nice beige Sahara desert. And because of that, I think that we have to accept the fact that maps are not always honest since it's modern day. Some of these are kind of wacky. You don't really have a good, clear version. I was just showing the top part. This says here, it doesn't say, does it? And these maps, I think, are colonization maps, so I don't really know what's going on here. But regarding the land, you can see the mud bank. You can see the Tropic of Cancer up there. You can see Capo Blanco. And look at this. You can see a river going straight up, kind of south, northeast, towards exactly where the river used to be, the Taman Reset. You can see Huaden. Now it's a G instead of an H. Huaden O Haben. And that is kind of straight over from the hook. But you do have this weird mud bank that shows basically what exists today is a mud bank, right? Let's find it. Let's go to it. If you zoom in, you have some mud right there. And whatever could have been a mud bank. This is 10 kilometers long, right? How long is that? If you go down here and you look at the... Where is it? It doesn't say. It says... Well... Seems like they took that away. Measure. Let's measure it. I'll go from here, and I'll go up to here. That's 30 kilometers long. I mean, you might put that on a map a few hundred years ago. So that mud bank's very interesting to me. There's a few shots of this. Let's go out a little farther. Here you can see the Senegal River complex pretty clear. But that one river going straight up is still there. Let me make this a little bigger for you. And these maps I've seen before. This is a Ptolemy map. It's based on the Ptolemy. You've got that square. I don't know how old it is. I can't remember what's going on. Here's another shot of that one map. And you can see a lot of rivers going in. I don't think we're going to... Can we get it up close? The part I want? Let's try that. Let's try this. Yeah, let's try that. So, as you can see, you've got the Tropic of Cancer. You've got these, which I call Senegal. So we're not getting the part I want to see. Let's go. Let's just try this one again. Okay, there you go. So you got below the Tropic of Cancer and Senegal, which I call these Senegal because you kind of see the same pattern. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4 rivers, and then you've got what looks like it could be Cape Verde and Senegal River, but it's hitting a mountain. So you got a lot of rivers here, and this one was I forgot how old this map was. Let's see if I can find it. I was going backwards because I wanted to find the first maps. Oh no, I was going forwards, wasn't I? I'm not going to spend much time on these maps. This was kind of done in haste. There's other maps out there that you should know about if you're interested in ancient maps. What's this one? Let's go here. Yeah, this doesn't really show maps of the African continent. It's kind of a bunch of stuff questioning. Okay, I'm going to close this one. I'm going to go to the I think it's the second to last one.
Alright.
Let's close that. Let's get out of here. Yep, there you go. I'm just going to close it down. Let's look at the comments. Okay. Underwater mud flow. That was all washed out to the whole area. You're so dirty. Why am I dirty? What did I say? It was dirty? Okay. This one is called Ancient Maps of Atlantis 3. I believe, and look, I got a thumbs down. This must have been bad. I believe that you can kind of see these. This, of course, I've shown before. I think I'm going to get a commercial. Oh, more commercials. That's because it's the only way I make money. It's the only way I make money. Please.
One of them is here. Now, it could have been different sizes.
I dropped my keyboard.
You have rivers going north. You have rivers going towards where?
Okay. There, as you can see the Tamanrasset River on the coming out right where I said. You can see the Maghreb Sea. You can see there's the El Jouf Desert. Nothing there. This is 10,000 years ago. Maybe there was something there, but you know that the Eye of the Sahara is right there. I found a lot of these so-called Africa tablets, and they're kind of wacky. And I found you can just look them up, and you can find a bunch of maps that were African tablets. I think that they were kind of like pre-Columbus. They showed a lot of rivers going into, look at that. There's the Cape Verde Peninsula, and you can see, of course, that's the Senegal River, and maybe that's part of the Senegal River, but it's going up into these mountains, and then you got these two rivers up into the mountains, this one up into the mountains. Where's Capo Blanco? Is that it here? This is a little bit distorted. Not really, let's go a little higher here. I mean, you can see what looks like the 21. You can see the mud bank here. And Plato wrote about everything turning to mud. You know, why would there be mud in the Azores when you're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? Why would there be mud? If you're in the middle of the Atlantic, there would not be mud. But if you're up against some continent, it's possible there could be mud. But in the middle of the Atlantic, you wouldn't get mud banks stopping you from going to what I believe Plato wrote was the Diver Islands. Now, I wish I had these dates. You can go back to my old videos and check them out for yourself at this point. There's the Tropic of Cancer. So this is the 21. So this has got to be Capo Blanco right here. Now, where's the river? I kind of don't want to go back into it. Maybe we have one more shot here. No river showing. This is kind of a weird one. I mean, I don't even know where we're starting there. Here's a full map. And see, there you can see. Look this up yourself. TABVLA, then AFRICAE, and this says 3. But when I've done it in the past, I got so many, they were overwhelming. and the years were all different. So it was a collection of these maps. Not really seeing anything that I would recognize now. This is the top of Africa. Look at that guy getting eaten by the sea monster. I had a great map lined up in my... oh yeah, there's the sea monster. What? Get that out of there.
So when you look...
No. I wanted to see the sea monster. Alright, never mind. There's another African tablet. And what you see here is the Atlas Major Mountains. Up north is the Atlas Minor Mountains. What does that mean? And I don't know where the points are that I'm talking about, so it's kind of hard for me to refer to that. But if you go into it and search, you can find lots and lots of search it like that: AFRICAE and TABVLA. You get a whole bunch of them, and some of them are several hundred years old. Let's look at this one. It's one of them. It's just one of the ones I found. If it's okay, I guess I have to hit the button, right? Hit the button.
Let's just save this.
Let's kill the...
This is a good one.
Can I get closer, though?
Show
Here. All right. And again, you can see Hoden. You can see the river. It's just getting kind of boring at this point. Let me find something that might be a little more spectacular. And I really wanted to go through all the maps. And I might do another quick map video, kind of trying to promote the whole idea. Ptolemy. So again, we saw this before, but it's based on the Ptolemy maps, but it's a little more colorful. And you can see the Hodeni River right there. We saw this already. It's kind of a bigger shot, right? You can see the Nile going all the way down and dividing up and going to these mountains down here. Ethiopia is over here in the middle. Why did Ethiopia end up over there on the right? It's kind of confusing how all these countries used to be all over the place. And that's it. I think I'm done with this whole thing. I think it's time to take a break. There's, like I said, some of those tablets. These are videos that I did that are 2 years old. Maybe I got lucky and showed the dude again. There we go. Look at him. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. This is a map that I think is pretty cool. It shows the ancient lake beds, topographical. True or false, it's kind of tough to say. And that's kind of it. Then you can see the later, the earlier ones from Herodotus that show Atlantis and other old things. That says Atlas Gabinge up there. That's the Atlas Mountain Range. And then you have Atlantean down below it. So don't say it's the same thing. I mean, I tried looking at the Herodotus writings myself, and I didn't see anything major. All right, guys. I think we're almost done. There's a few more maps. I thought this was interesting. That was a picture of an ancient, what do you call it? An ancient, kind of like a house, like the land in the middle of the Sahara. I've been looking for this. If you know where it's located, please give me. I think it's up in Libya, but it's like an ancient complex. There's a few other things on here. That's water, right? We're looking at water in the desert. So there's a few other things here that you can find in this video. This is a great shot of what looks like an ancient temple under the water near Florida, I think. So that was from New Earth. I found that. That was an interesting shot. It says right there, that's the New Earth, what is it called? I forgot. She's really good. This is an interesting map that I don't know if I believe anymore. Oh, and I got another ad. How inconvenient. How inconvenient.
I've already been talking for 45 minutes.
What's this? Is this me? Is it me saying I've already been talking for 45 minutes all that long ago? Cyclop in the Monoculi area. What does that even mean? Look at the Monoculi. There is one-eyed person on the map. I've got to go back to see that. Yeah, I remember the Cyclops. Is that it? Did I close it? Is it over here? I'd have to go back and check it out. But it is a good point. It is a good point. They show monsters. They show everything, don't they? What is this? What is this? A few more ancient maps and other richat structure images. That is an hour and 37 minutes long. So I went through a bunch of stuff back in May 26, 2019. And some of this stuff, you know, like, for example, this is the Azores Islands. There's supposed to be a pyramid up there. But to be honest, I never really trusted this. I never really trusted that. This is showing some ancient... Yeah, I kind of... this is the early stuff I collected. A lot of stuff that Plato said. Off the border of Mauritania. That's kind of irrelevant. I think it has to do with oil. Some other pictures that I thought were important. This is the ruins of Sais. This is where the temple was that told... not, of course... sorry, brain fart. It's Plato didn't go to the ruins of Sais. It was his great-grandfather, Solon, who went there and talked to the Sais priests. Then Solon took it back, and he's passed that story through the family. So Plato was doing the telephone game. I mean, was it true or false? He thought it was, I believe, but it was a telephone game. That's an interesting one. It's upside down. This is actually a modern-day picture of the area, and we're talking about the Adrar area right there. That's where the eye is. I think we're done with this. I think I'm pretty much done. Thank you for your time. I'm going to let you ask any more questions before I let you go. And maybe I'll go through the last one. Monoculi. Oh, I see what you mean. Is that a monster's name? Monoculi? Kilimanjaro. Isn't that on the east coast of Africa? Isn't that down south? Here's a map that was interesting that I found. It was actually in the form of a globe when I found it. And it was a navigatable. Okay, I can't pronounce the word. It was navigatable. You were able to navigate it. I can't find it. But this is the Africa coast, and as you can see, you've got what I call the sperm. There's the Tropic of Cancer. You've got the Cancer right on it. South of that is definitely the 21 line. But then you can see Cape Verde popping out right there. Confusing, right? But you can see a lot of lakes. And I think we found out the date on this. Where's the date? Let me make it bigger. Do I have it? Where's the globe part? I think I lost it. Where is that globe? It's here. So this map is like the 1500s. It even shows North and South America over there. And when they were doing that, they weren't really caring about Africa at the time.
That over here? Whoops.
Okay, that is the Monte Urbano planisphere.
There we go.
It was stretched out like this, and then they turned it into a globe. No, it's not a flat Earth map. Thank you. Thank you very much. There are obviously some misconceptions, but it shows what it appears to be the North Pole at the top. Please don't call it a flat Earth map. Although it kind of does look a little flat earthy. Maybe he was not into the whole spherical Earth at the time. Maybe he did think it was flat. But they did know what the Tropic of Cancer was. And they also knew what the Tropic of Capricorn was. So these guys are liars, right? They're just lying about their... And I got into this quite a bit. I really enjoyed looking at it. And I'm just going through here to see. Let's see if we can get a close-up here. Yeah, again, you can see Cape Verde down here. Capo Bianco right there. So you're talking about, that's the 21-degree line. You can't see any rivers. You can see one up there by the Tropic of Cancer. But you can't see any rivers going in on this map, and you can see some lakes in there, and they're all kind of wacky and whatever. So it's a good questions. What's going on? What's this map? Here's another. Is that the same map? Kind of the same map. Let's keep moving. I'm kind of done here, guys. I just wanted to show you the maps that I had given to my channel previously. I didn't want to do it where I had to get screenshots of everything. I wanted to do it unscripted. Of course, if you really want to hear my music, you can hear my music. I have this one casing stone video. Here's why I don't think UFOs built the pyramids. Look at how rough and raw the Giza's pyramid is. The casing stones covered it up. So when you're talking about the pyramids being made by aliens, look at this picture and think again. That is not something neat. They actually literally built the pyramid as rough as they could. Then the casing stones were supposed to make everything smooth. But when the casing stones fell off, then what you found was these raw, nasty rocks underneath. I mean, this is it. Those stones haven't been moved in 4,000 years. That's the top of the Pyramid of Giza. And when you look at this...
Pyramid. The Khufu Pyramid, or...
It's the Khufu Pyramid, or the Giza Pyramid, the Great Pyramid, the 8-sided pyramid. Hard to see the 8 sides here, but it's going down. There's 8 sides, not 8, 4, just 4. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, look at some overhead shots and look up 8-sided pyramid, and you'll see how that pyramid... What is wrong with this? Why is it so slow? Let's try this one. Thought we were going to see a shot here. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, well, anyways. I already showed this. You can go back and look at my casing stones pyramid. You can see here again. I wish I could get up close, but I can't. I can't close up. But look how nasty and unparalleled all those lines are. Definitely not made by UFOs. Definitely made by man. But was it made 4,500 years ago, or was it more? Sometimes I believe it was made probably 9,000 years ago after the floods. Okay, that's it, guys. Check out all my videos. I'm done here. I'm going to check out your comments first, and then I'm going to say goodbye. No more comments. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm going to check one last thing before I let you go. Anything here? No? Just a bunch of other videos. Restore chat. Go. Look at that. Restored. And this is the Sesh. I got 4 people. 6 thumbs up. Thanks for that. Any last minute questions before I say goodnight? I'm going to do a podcast with other people soon. I've got a visitor who doesn't want to do ancient civilization, but he's from definitely stuck here in Taiwan. Alright, this is done. 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 Okay, if you want to know the topographic maps, check out en-us.topographic-map.com. Easy to remember. Of course, I love Google Earth. I don't need the measuring right now. If you don't know my philosophy, you have to see some of my older videos. But there's ancient canals here. And there's an arc that's quite symmetrical and gigantic, and obviously leads into another canal over here. Something major. You say there's no megalithic structures? There you go. There's your megalithic structures. Let me turn that off the grid lines. Turn off everything. Clean. And go right in there. And turn that. Why is that such a perfect sphere? Why is it so perfect? If you look at that, it's a perfect circle. This was an ancient lake. Those are ancient dams. Alright, I can hear my roommate getting mad already. It's only 10:07, but this is an ancient shoreline. These sand dunes came through later, but you can still see the residual ancient lake bed that was on the north side of the richat structure. I also think you can see some other ancient canals going through here. Specifically here, and specifically over here. 20 miles long, one direction. It's practically straight, and here's another one. Practically straight. Going all the way up, almost 25, 30 miles long. Lots of ancient canals in the middle of the desert. I don't know if that's my roommate complaining, but I think I should probably give it a break. I think I've talked for already an hour now. So let's cut it short. Thank you very much for your time tonight. Have a nice evening. This is 80 minutes into it, so I'm going to say goodnight. Have a great one.